Hello and welcome to the Guardrail Memorial 100 at Stafford Speedway as heat race number 1 is about to begin. Green flag is in the air. For heat race number 1, Justin Porter and Tyler Jordan battle down into turn 1. Jesse Thompson, we're running a little bit behind tonight, but glad to have you on the broadcast with me.
Yeah, great to be here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. It's BFP Night in North America, presented by Star Speedway. Underway with heat race number 1. Already got a couple of cars tangled into the wall. Everybody's able to keep on going. Good battle around the transfer positions here at Stafford.
Yeah, Brandon Rusick is in that 6th spot right now and feeling a little bit of pressure from behind or to the outside. Rick Thompson Jr.'s got that 5th spot. Rusick is going to take that position away, maybe. Thompson fights back on the top. Jake Grout looks like he's going to get a run in his machine to the top side now as Rusick just trying to hold on to that final transfer position.
Yes, Rusick, Grout, the 13 of Bobby Timmons trying to rebound from a couple of weeks ago at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. A little sideways off turn number 4 that time. The Wyndham driver is able to hold on to it, just needs to pick up a couple of spots and put the old primer princess into the big show here tonight.
What did you say the Timmons machine key to the race was today, Jesse?
Be drunk and turn left, I guess. I don't know. Virtually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what you said in the pre-race meeting here for BFP Sports 1. Justin Porter continues to lead around Stafford Motor Speedway, but that battle that we are focused on is right there between Brandon Rusick and Rick Thompson Jr. as we got one around up towards the guardrail. What's the meaning behind the Guardrail Memorial 100, Jesse?
Well, with the SRX visit this year for 2023, the track has decided to implement the safer barrier system we've seen NASCAR implement for the last 25 years or so. So they are kind of getting rid of the famous guardrails here at Stafford Motor Speedway, so got to host a memorial event in their honor. They've had a storied history.
Tyler Jordan leading now here as he's made his way past Justin Porter. That beautiful number 6 machine trying to take off as you see Ryman Castle and Stephen Rochford battling for that 3rd place position a little further on back. Looks like they're clear now, single file, as Rick Thompson Jr. wants to get in on that battle as well.
Yeah, it's Jordan, Potter, Castle, Rochford, Rick Thompson Jr. and Brandon Rusick right now in your qualifying positions. Jake Grout in the 49 has had a pretty solid run the last couple of weeks, but right now he's looking at just being outside the transfer position, so we'll see what happens here in the late stages of this one. About 3 laps left to go.
Grout's really trying to work that bottom, struggling. Jake Grout really struggling to close in on Rusick, but you can see Rick Thompson Jr. and Stephen Rochford going at it just ahead of him. That might slow the field down just enough for Jake Grout to have an opportunity to pounce late in this heat number 1. 6 cars transfer directly into the main event. Everybody else is going to go to the last chance race, and that's not where you want to be. Everybody battling for that 3rd position. Why that's so important is that's going to give you every car that you pass in the heat is like passing 3 cars in the feature. And if you've watched any of the BFP iLate model racing series, you know that you do not want to start in the back because you're guaranteed to get into a big one. Rusick now moving forward as they make their way past Brandon Rusick. Brandon Rusick moving forward as he makes his way past Stephen Rochford right here at the conclusion of this one. That's going to give the heat race victory. Tyler Jordan, 2nd place. Justin Porter. Ryman Castle will come home 3rd. Rick Thompson Jr. 4th. Brandon Rusick 5th. And Stephen Rochford will still transfer in as Jake Grout is going to have to go to the last chance race with Roger Saucier, Kerry Kriener, and of course, BT3 himself in the number 13 car, and a host of others.
Just had to step away to the snack table for a moment or two, but back at it. Great racing we saw there in heat race number 1. Glad to have heat race number 2 on the track. As usual, we have a full field of late model stocks here for the iLate Model Stock Car Tours visit to the Stafford Motor Speedway, the first annual Guardrail Memorial in front of a capacity crowd.
It's always a capacity crowd here on iRacing, a little bit more packed than the Bristol Dirt Race was, I can guarantee you that. Starting on the pole in this one is going to be Ethan Aveller in the number 91. Ryan LaChance is going to roll off second. Nathan Barth will roll off from the third position as he gets ready for his limited sportsman debut at Oxford Plains Speedway this Sunday. Stephen Piero, Ty Delphia, Angel Wareggi, Scott Dinnan, our race director, Brian Conover, Zachary Brennan, Joe Campbell, Tyler Conley, Shane O'Neill, and Jason Dioro and Ty Kernan are going to round out the 14-car field for heat race number 2.
Reminder, it's 14 cars in this heat, and 6 make the big show, and everybody else having to go to the last chance race. So heat race number 2, about half a lap away. Want to thank the fine folks from Speedway for presenting tonight's racing. They've got the Bunny Brawl coming up on April 22nd. I believe it's 8 divisions of racing. Head to starspeedway.com for more information. Glad to have them on board.
Star Speedway, of course, is the place to race on the weekends, but tonight, Stafford Motor Speedway is the place to race on iRacing, as Ethan Aveller is going to get off to a stellar start and retain that lead as Ryan LaChance, Nate Barth, Stephen Piero, Ty Delphia, and Angel Wareggi are going to try to chase them down. That's your top 6 for now, but all kinds of action forth on back.
Dinnan, Conover, and Brennan are starting to make a little bit of noise trying to get to that transfer spot. Drivers separating themselves out a little bit. Aveller, Barth, and LaChance, the top 3, they're clicking laps off. 3 laps complete at the line this time. It'll be a 12-lap qualifying heat race, 9 left to go.
You're starting to see Stephen Piero work all over the back bumper of Ty Delphia, and Piero using that apron very, very much to his advantage. Everybody else is kind of going in with that higher entry, and he's putting 2 tires down on the flat as he tries to run down that 4th place machine of Delphia.
Top 3 pulling themselves away from the rest of the field, but not away from one another. Ethan Aveller has the lead. Nate Barth closing in the Sundrop Chevy, the Dale Jr.-esque colors. It's the Alltel colors tonight being run by Ryan LaChance. LaChance closing in, but also kind of conserving his equipment. He knows it's a long way to go in this one.
Yeah, no sense to tear up your stuff in the heat race, potentially not make it in. Seems like there hasn't been a lot of cautions, or if any cautions are even turned on for these heat races. So no need to get yourself into trouble. Just kind of ride back there. You've got a guaranteed spot into the race, and you can kind of try to move your way up through the field later on.
And I don't want to jinx things, but let's look at, the first couple of races we saw. Hickory, Southern National. I mean, the heat races were chaotic and filled with carnage. As the weeks have gone on, we're seeing drivers like this tonight running bumper to bumper, nose to tail, not using each other up, only taking the advantages as they're given to them, and just, running their race, putting on a good show at it as we just cross the halfway point.
Well, I think a lot of credit goes to Scott Dinnan, and when there's a bunch of garbage going on, he is not afraid to kick somebody if they're misbehaving. But will we see Scott Dinnan misbehaving? As if we can get the camera to look back at that 6th place transfer position with Angel Wareggi and Scott Dinnan. Dinnan is right on that left rear quarter panel. Dinnan in the 95 Black Flag podcast machine is way faster than Wareggi, and just looking for an opportunity to move to the inside.
We talked last week about Angel Wareggi, a big supporter of the Black Flag podcast, loves coming out to these BFP nights in America. Has had a little bit of a tough go at it, but tonight would be a big night for the Jack Daniels car, but he has got Scott Dinnan all over the bumper. Brian Conover in the 97 putting up a good fight as well.
That's what it's going to come down to. Of course, we expect a lot out of Scott Dinnan and to run clean, because that's kind of his whole deal on here, is making sure people race respectfully. But if Wareggi and Dinnan made contact and Conover was involved, I mean, there's an opportunity that Shane O'Neill in the 25 could actually get into this race through this heat. So a lot of action here in that 6th spot.
Yeah, about a lap and a half left to go. Ethan Aveller has led this entire way, trying to lock his way into the big show. Avelar in the...
Around goes Piero.
Piero going to go around. A couple of cars in the wall.
Angel Wareggi, sorry, went around. I got my names crossed up. Scott Dinnan is going to make the show for the first time here. As race director. Wow, what chaos there on the last lap.
I'll take it.
Oh, sorry, Spencer, about that one. That was chaotic. We were all trying to figure out what was going on at the same time, but good.
Ooh, yeah, no, that was wild there. I'm just watching this. You kind of think that, it's the last half a lap. What's going to really happen here? You're watching that battle with Dinnan. You don't expect him to make an aggressive maneuver. And I'm not sure if it was really an aggressive maneuver, but it's the maneuver you have to make going into turn 3 on the last lap. And a little bit of contact there. Dinnan's in the race. We'll see if there's any penalties from the race director to follow.
Hard to say what will be the case here when the race director is behind the wheel of the race car and involved in the show, and you've got to kind of determine penalties on top of that. I'm sure it makes it very difficult, but nothing a 12-pack can't handle.
As we're getting ready for heat race number 3 here to roll off in just a minute after they all grid, starting on the pole here is the number 38 of Adam Jocelyn. And Adam is, of course, 83 Media and Recording. Been a big supporter of my racing career. He's going to be my pit crew here this Sunday at Oxford Plains Speedway. And he messaged me today, and he said he guaranteed, a Joe Namath guarantee, he's going to finish top 3 tonight.
I wish I knew who Joe Namath really was, but you know what? We're here for race cars, not for footballs.
You friggin' Canadians, I'm telling you, that CFL or whatever, I don't even know if CFL's a thing. Is that the whole thing?
Oh yeah, that's a thing. I don't pay attention, but it is what it is. We'll continue down the rest of the field in this heat race.
Adam Jocelyn starting on the pole. Dylan D. Thomas to his outside. Ryan Battle's going to roll off third, number 22. Matthew Perry to his outside. Bill Prisco and Clayton Sweet will make up the next row with Sean Miner and David Stone right behind them. Justin Galu in the 43 is next with Joshua Gardner. Matthew Franson, Charlie Sanborn, with an absolutely awful qualifying effort. He's been awful so far. Teddy Hodgson and Gabriel Goley will round out the field. What happened to Teddy Hodgson? He was fast in practice as the green flag is out, and Adam Jocelyn and Dylan D. Thomas are going to lead him down under the flag stand.
Heat race number 3 underway. Charlie Sanborn tried a very aggressive move, I guess we'll call it, to work his way up through the field, but it is lap half in this heat race, and he doesn't want to be his own weapon of the week.
Yeah, Charlie said that he was going to be very aggressive in this heat. He said when he was awful in practice, he's like, I need a rabbit to chase, or he needs a carrot to chase as a rabbit. And we're going to expect some big things out of that number 69 automobile in Charlie Sanborn, your beloved Black Flag podcast host.
Well, he put on a whale of a show last week at the Thompson Speedway. Oh, we got cars hard in the wall. Sliding down towards the infield. Everybody's going to be able to keep going. Sanborn going to get pile drove, absolutely packed in the rear end, and Sanborn not happy with that one. The back end's a little bit shorter than it was just a half a lap ago.
Jesse, do you remember when we were talking about how clean these heat races have been? You might have jinxed it, because heat race number 3 has been a lot A lot of guys torn up in this one. Be interesting to see how it all kind of shakes out here as Adam Jocelyn continues to lead around Stafford Motor Speedway.
Well, when you have 6/9 of a beer, you tend to say some crazy things. But, that's what we're here for. It's Tuesday night. We're enjoying racing here at Stafford Motor Speedway. Drivers continue to click laps off as we approach the halfway point this time by.
Matthew Franson is the car in that final transfer spot in the 6th position, but it looks like he's got some pretty good breathing room. About a second and a half back to Ryan Battle in the number 22. Gabriel Goli back there as well, and then of course Charlie Sanborn, he is about 6 seconds behind that group. So going to need some big things from Charlie Sanborn for him to be able to qualify through the heat race, or maybe some big disaster from the leaders.
Gabe Goley, great to see that driver back in the field once again. Our most popular driver we've had during these BFP Night in North America broadcasts. We can see through the Facebook comments. Thomas Goley, David Goley, they're cheering everybody on. It's great to see him back in the field. Glad to have Ryan Battle here, a super modified competitor, racing at the Star Speedway, a winner a couple of years ago, the Belfiore Classic. So he's looking for big things here tonight at the virtual Stafford.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, Gabriel Goli starting to get his way into a little bit of traffic. He's going to have to work his way through that. Looks like he's going to do that fairly well and try to run down those transfer positions. Matt Franson still got it. Ryan Battle's got it now, and Matt Franson and Gabriel Goli won it.
Laps continue to click off. About 2.5 laps left to go. Adam Jocelyn has been unstoppable in this heat race, closing up on about half a second lead over Thomas in the 50 car. Prisco in the 3rd spot, solidly in position as well, looking for a good starting position for the main event later tonight.
Sounds like we might have lost Teddy Hodgson. Teddy Hodgson, of course, was, we were talking about him earlier, 2nd fastest in the practice warm-up session. Maybe he'll try to transfer his way through the last chance race. Maybe his pizza was getting delivered or something, had to step out for a minute. But going to be unfortunate not to see Teddy in the race potentially.
Half a lap left to go. No, looks like they may have taken the checkers. So checkered flag in the air. Adam Jocelyn qualifies in through heat race number 3. Then it's Thomas, Prisco, Perry, Minor, and Ryan Battle sneaking his way into the big show in position number 6. Gabe Goley, our most popular driver here on the broadcasts, gonna have to work his way in through the last chance feature.
Brent Roy, one of our competitors tonight, is watching the stream as well. He says that the audio needs to be turned up a little bit on BFP Sports 1. I'm just going to tell him that maybe he should focus on driving the car. Kidding, of course. Kidding, of course. But be interesting to see if he can put something together in the race tonight. Had some strong runs, but hasn't had the finishes necessarily that he was hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, 1 week ago at the Thompson Speedway, part of the Nicebreaker, had a podium finish going with, just a handful of laps left to go and was just destroyed into the fence. So very tough break for the 26 car, but he will look for big things in the coming weeks. Don't know if he's tuned in tonight. Yeah, looks like he's in the field. Looks like he's probably locked in already to the big show, but we've got a last chance race to roll out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars in this one. 25 cars have one last chance to make it in to the Guardrail Memorial 100 at Stafford Speedway. Starting on the pole, Jake Grout, Brian Conovers to his outside, Gabriel Goli, Roger Saucier, Shane O'Neill, Matt Franson, Kerry Craner, Angel Waregi, Charlie Sanborn, and Bobby Timmons. Jason Diero, Joshua Gardner, Matthew Brewer, Zachary Brennan, David Stone, Brian Roderick, Joe Campbell, Justin Gayu, Bradley Stefane, Tyler Conley, Clayton Sweet, Matthew Vanoit, Ty Kernan, maybe Teddy Hodgson. I don't know. We'll have to see. And Preston DeMillo. Apparently, I didn't even know he was racing tonight, but he's in the field as well. 25th on the grid. Be interesting to see if either of those guys can make their way forward or if they're even still in this thing.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's the top 2 making their way into the show?
Just the top 2, Jesse.
Just
Bradley,
the top 2.
Jake Grout, Brian Conover going to lead him down into turn 1, and Gabriel Ngoli right there, hot on the tail of Grout as they go through 1 and 2. Spinning behind the 4 car, the Red Bull Tribute is around, and geez, I hope he has some blood. His blood clots up good like Kasey Kane's, because that was a big wreck.
Oh, goodness. Chaos already ensuing here at Stafford Motor Speedway, but drivers continuing to click off laps. Jake Grout, Brian Conover in the catbird seat at the moment. Gabe Goley can sniff a transfer position. He can smell it. He wants to be in the big dance. And how about C. Sanborn? Aye. Tonight he will not be denied. Keep an eye on the Pontiac Grand Prix.
Yeah, we talked earlier about the lines going into the corners here, and Charlie Sanborn isn't even running on the racetrack anymore, going through the corners. He has been all the way on the flat the past couple of laps. Whether that's speed or just the sheer determination to work his way forward, we will see. Gabriel Ngoli is all over the back bumper of Brian Conover, and where that's the final transfer spot into the main event, that's going to get some exciting.
Goalie has been one to watch in these last few races. He's got a big fan base. 3rd at the moment, just has to pick up 1 more spot, but it's Brian Conover in the 97 holding on to the position, playing heavy amounts of defense tonight in the Connecticut woodlands, running the bottom groove, chasing down Jake Grout. They've still got a monumental number of laps left to go, about 19 or so left to go in this one, as they work their way around the half mile.
And the top 3 really seem to be breaking away now. Almost the second back to Charlie Sanborn, in the 4th position. But in the 5th position, his co-host for the Black Flag podcast, Bobby Timmons, in the beautiful number 13 that forgot to get paint, is riding there in 5th and running down Charlie Sanborn a little bit.
The Primer Princess wants to be the prettiest girl at the ball here tonight, and the 13 car has to now close in on his compadre, his competitor, and close friend, Charlie Sanborn. They'll try to work their way, a tandem system, hopefully, to work their way into the big show. If not, they've got the fingers crossed in behind the wheel of those race cars.
Our Black Flag podcast hosts have not been overly successful so far in the BFP iLate Model Racing Series. Not a lot of qualifications, but that could all change tonight. As the top 3, you could throw a blanket over them. Just 0.7 of a second separating the 3. All it takes is one bonsai move, and you could see Charlie Sanborn and Bobby Timmons in this show with quite a few laps to go.
And I'm assuming Brad Saucier is somewhere across the street in the parking lot playing cornhole, gassing a couple of wides, enjoying the racing here tonight, seeing his co-host race.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know at Oxford you can always find him in the crash pad down in turn 1, serving Millers and Twisted Teas and Sam Summers. Anytime that I'm not working at Oxford Plains, I definitely find myself over there. Even if I'm racing, normally I'm out pretty quick in the beer garden. So I'm sure Bradley's somewhere with some beers involved.
I've only been to Oxford once in real life, and that was back in 2001, so it's been a long time coming to possibly go back. We'll see if maybe I can fit a show into the schedule, but it is about a 5-hour drive from where I am right now. So maybe we'll see what happens, but we're going to head there next week as part of BFP Night in America. The Parking Lot Party 150 will be race number 2 of the Triple Crown Series. We had race number 1 won by Devin Landry back at the Hickory Motor Speedway. The Shamrock Showdown went to Mr. Landry. Hopefully he will return to Oxford County. Sanborn into the wall, hard contact like J.R. Hildebrand in the 500, and Bobby Timmons going to work his way by. Now they'll play a little bit of drafting and see if they can close in on the top 2.
BT3 is going to set sail here. I think, of course, Bobby, the keys to the race was get really drunk before this. So there might be a little weave and a little wobble to his driving, but I think he was a little bit quicker than Sanborn, where Sanborn's just purely trying to put his balls up on the dash and give it all he's got.
As he would say, Bobby Timmons putting some distance now between himself and the 69 of Sanborn, closes in on Gabe Goley. Goley probably not liking what he's seeing with about 9.5 or so laps left to go in this last chance race, the Hooligans race, to make their way into the Guardrail Memorial 100.
Yeah, Gabe Goley has fallen back 1.3 seconds off of Brian Conover. Of course, he looked a lot quicker than him early, but we've seen a lot of mayhem here in these last chance races, and I'm not sure we're done with it yet. Like you said, with a little less than 10 laps remaining, there's still a couple big surprises up the sleeves in this one, I think.
Grout and Conover have been the class of the field so far. A lot of drivers, a lot of attrition in this race. We're seeing about 11 or so cars left on the racetrack out of the original 25. So the field has thinned itself out, but is it going to be enough to help some other drivers maybe make their way into the show, or will Grout and Conover be the top drivers in the big dance later tonight?
Yeah, Gabriel Goley, I feel like he's used his stuff up a lot. We talked about how he's about 1.5 seconds back last time. Now he's 2.2 seconds back from that second place car, Brian Conover. Right now, as long as nothing crazy happens, Jake Grout and Brian Conover look like they're going to punch their tickets for the big dance.
5 laps left to go. If we can possibly head back a couple of spots to check on that battle for the third spot. I believe Bobby Timmons is catfishing here at Stafford and closing in on Gabe Goley. Is Goley going to be able to hold off the pressure? It's not going to be for a transfer position, but it's Snap-on versus Timmons machine here tonight. 4 laps to go, and these drivers duking it out and putting on a whale of a race.
By the looks of it, it's Snap-on versus Harbor Freight. Because Timmons' car isn't that pretty, but it sure is fast. Gabriel Goley still falling off. It's almost like he used his tires up a little bit trying to get around Conover, while Bobby Timmons has been kind of the same speed all day, working his way up from the 10th place starting position. One of the biggest movers in this one so far.
We've already seen Scott Dinnan make the big show. He's the race director. Maybe Timmons, if he can work his way up another position, maybe he can, throw a couple of Benjamin Scott's way and maybe become the 31st starter tonight in this big show. But sounds like that's not going to be the case, but you never know. You never know.
It's unfortunate that we haven't seen a lot of the BFP gang in the show so far. Strong runs. Charlie Sanborn was very much quick enough to make it at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Not quite good enough here. He's way down. Bobby Timmons is in the grass. He's by Gabriel Goley. He's in the guardrail, ripped to the guardrail. Gabriel Goley gonna get third. Take a look at what Bobby Timmons does here. What a move. It didn't work, but there was a slide job through the grass. Would have been a heck of a pass in the grass, except didn't quite work. Of course, that wasn't even for a transfer spot. That was just for bragging rights of being the first guy to go home. Gabriel Goley is going to come up short, but Jake Grout and Brian Conover are going to transfer into the starting field.
Good thing I've already got a Timmins T-shirt, or else I'd be trying to buy one right now. Wow, what a show! Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have set the field here tonight, 30 cars strong for the first annual Guardrail Memorial 100. Before we kick things off, you know what? We're going to do this right. We're going to have a moment of silence for the guardrail, so bow your heads for just a moment, and we'll honor the famed guardrail at Stafford Motor Speedway. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Drivers rolling off. Spencer, here we go. The first annual Guardrail Memorial 100 rolls off.
So Ryan Kuhn was scheduled to start as the pole sitter. He's a multi-time winner here, the all-times win leader on the iLate model series. So he's going to go to the back. Trevor Kraus is now going to inherit the pole position with Brent Roy, Aaron Plemons, Zach Jurczyk, Ryan Borges, Jackson Lewis, Kasey Beattie, Tyler Wood, John Peters, Tyler Jordan, Ethan Aveller, Adam Jocelyn, Justin Porter, Nate Barth, Dylan Thomas, Ryman Castle, Ryan LaChance, Bill Presco, Rick Thompson Jr., Ty Delphia, Matthew Perry, Brandon Rusick, Stephen Piero, Sean Miner, Stephen Rockford, Scott Binnin, the race director, Ryan Battle, Jake Grout, and Brian Conover, rounding out the 30-car field here to take on Stafford Motor Speedway.
Lights out on the pace car. It will roll into pit lane this time through turn number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, get up on your feet wherever you're watching. The first annual Guardrail Memorial 100 is underway.
Trevor Kraus trying to make something happen. Brent Roy there on the inside. They're going to touch. They're in the fence. Roy's in the wall. Trevor Kraus up in the air. Damage to him. John Peters is involved as well, as Cashin is on the speedway.
That was unfortunate, would be the nicest way I can put that. And I think Scott Dinnan is going to have himself a field day trying to sort that one out after the race. He is probably not pleased at what he has seen.
Yeah, very early in that one to be having that type of incident already. I can see Brent Roy taking his number 26 machine down to pit road, going to use one of those fast repairs already, and that is going to give the lead to Zach
Jurczyk.
I tell you, Charlie Sanborn, I told you could dock my pay every time I mess somebody's name up, and I'm going to owe you money after this one. I'm pretty
You're down to about 3 cents, my friend.
I'm not too worried about it at all, pal. You guys are doing a phenomenal job again, between you and Jesse here and Tom the Modified Guy on the 1s and 2s with the camera. You guys are doing a heck of a job with the stream, and I appreciate all the help that you guys are doing, as yet again, I don't make the show. Yeah,
Charlie, why do you suck at iNASCARs?
I don't know. We're racing with a bunch of virgins, I think. When you go out there and you think you're having a good lap time out there, and you're half a second off the pace, and I don't think I suck that bad at driving race cars, but there's a lot of people who spend a lot of time on iRacing here, and I am just simply not one of them. Last time I even touched this rig was last week. So it shows for sure. But no, we have a lot of talent in here. Ryan Kuhn, Kasey Beattie, a lot of these drivers here showing what they got, and I just don't have it lately, apparently. And Stafford's not my track. I didn't have a lot of fun in either of those races.
Oh my goodness.
Charlie, did you get intimidated seeing that, would we call him, Jesse, the primer princess in the number 13, Bobby Timmons got up behind you? Why did you just try to knock down the wall?
Did you just say intimidated? Because that's a new t-shirt. That's it right there.
I wasn't intimidated at all. No, I stuffed it in the fence by myself, and I think the right front was touching the header there, so Bobby caught me real quick, and I just let him go and see if he could do anything with those leaders there, and he couldn't either, so I don't feel that bad. But no, this is a good time. I appreciate everybody coming out. A ton of people watching, and you guys are doing a heck of a job. It looks like we're about to go green.
Yeah, green flag on the speedway. Zach, whatever his name, in the 6 0.9, 6 with a little 9 in it, is going to take the lead. Aaron Plemons, Jackson Lewis going to battle it for that second position, and looks like we've got another caution flag on the Speedway.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough night from the looks of it. Jursic and Plemons, Lewis, Jordan, and Peters are your top 5 at the moment. Adam Jocelyn, Nate Barth with a solid run. Ethan of Avalar, I believe. Avalar, yes. Having a solid run here tonight as well in the top 10. Saw some good things out of him through the heat race.
Yeah, Avalar with a stellar performance there in that 91 machine in the heat. And look for him to move forward here. Already up 2 positions, but the big mover, or no, sorry. The big mover on this, Ty Delphia. Oh, big wreck here. You see the Sundrop car way down on the apron there. And then, whoa, you see one shoot across. Was that Rusick that shot across there? A little hard to see. Yeah, Brandon Rusick in the number 62 maybe might have come across there. Not 100% sure. Looked like his paint scheme, but all happening fast. Oh, yeah, you see it there. The 91 of Ethan Avalar and Brandon Rusick make contact. Big damage to Rusick's machine. He's been pretty good in this BFP iLate Model Racing Series. I think he's made all the races so far. But he's going to have to use that fast repair early, it looks like, on that 62 machine.
And these drivers do have a fast repair to use up. If they need to do so, you can come down pit road, get the body fixed, get some of the suspension straightened out as much as possible. And you'll have to give up some track position to do it, but it may be worth it in the long run. We've seen some drivers come from deep in the field to end up near the front of the field. Ryan Kuhn last week, we saw him have a solid run. He was in the top 10 before you could even finish throwing the green flag on the initial start. He was that quick. We'll keep an eye on Kuhn later tonight. I believe he's about mid-pack at the moment.
Yeah, Ryan Kuhn started at the rear with Kasey Beattie, and they're already 15th and 13th respectively as the pace car has now pulled off. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing.
Green flag back in the air here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, side by side, about 7 rows deep. They'll try to go single file now throughout the top 5. John Peters on his way to the front of the field. And Peters, who we saw have a solid run at the Southern National Motorsports Park, knocking on the door of the top 5.
Yeah, Johnny Peters has been strong in really all of our races here. It did sustain a little bit of damage in that first caution, but doesn't seem to be slowing him down too much. Started 10th on the field all the way up to 5th, but there's a lot of action in there behind him. A lot of guys pushing and shoving, trying to make their way to the front. One of the guys not pushing and shoving, but getting to the front is Kasey Beattie. As he's worked his way all the way up into the 11th position, I believe, 12th position.
Yeah, it looks like 10th at the moment. Second all-time on the wins list for BFB Night in North America, the iLate Model Stock Car Tour. Kasey Beattie really put the pounding on him 1 week ago at the Thompson Speedway. And 72 of Ryan Kuhn all up in his grill, trying to make something happen with car number 72, the RKM Speed Shop number 72.
Yeah, and you can see Adam Jocelyn, your Heat Race 1 winner, going to fall victim to both Kasey Beattie and the number 72 of Ryan Kuhn there. Jocelyn's top 3 guarantee looks like it might be in a little bit of danger.
Single file all around this racetrack. The 38 of Adam Jocelyn trying to dive back in the line. He'll do so in the 38 car. Now to the bottom of the racetrack. Follows in behind the Massachusetts driver. And Jocelyn is going to be one to watch in this field. See if he can work his way up inside the top 10.
If we can look towards a little bit of the front of the field, Brent Roy getting ready to go a lap down. A lot of damage there as you've got Zach Jursic. I even supposed to pick up on that. I'm not going to get it. It takes me a week to study these. Aaron Clemens, all of these guys, Jackson Lewis, all battling for the lead here, as Brent Roy is very fast, just suffered a little bit of misfortune, and now is kind of holding up the leaders, as looks like a big move to the inside here to get rid of Brent Roy by that number 67 of Clemens. He's going to take the lead, but there's a little bit of contact from Jackson Lewis behind. The leader's winning.
That was filthy, ladies and gentlemen. That was absolutely filthy into turn number 3. A lot of drivers getting caught up in that didn't need to be a part of that. The caution flag will come back out. It's Guardrail Memorial 100 here at Stafford.
Wow, let's get a look at the replay here. That 7 machine of Jackson Lewis, hot on the bumper of Aaron Clemens. Yeah, as you see there, Aaron Clemens with a bonsai move underneath Brent Roy to put him a lap down, runs him up the racetrack big time, and then you see that 7 car falling on the bumper. Looks like Clemens was a little bit loose. Oh, and it's Brent Roy that actually is kind of in the middle of that mess, as Drusik got into his back bumper. Big incident there. Bummer for a lot of your leaders. Somebody that's going to be pretty happy about this right now, though, John Peters, as he moves into that second place position after the incident. And a little, where did he come from? Nate Barth is now in that 3rd position. So big happenings here after that big wreck with the leaders.
So we're going to ask the man himself, Charlie Sanborn. Charlie, you're watching Nate Barth in this race. You're going to be working with Nate this season, the 2023 season, at the Oxford Plains Speedway. So do you like what you're seeing out of Nate Barth here tonight?
I think that's just classic Nate Barth, really. Cautiously and cautiously aggressive, I think, is a good way to describe Nate. He was a good talent throughout the go-kart ranks. Was a rising star there in the Mad Bombers, and obviously a pretty close friend to us in the family. And with a baby on the way here in the Sanborn household, it made a little bit more sense to give the boy an opportunity and throw him to the Wolves this year. So this Sunday coming up at the Oxford Plains Speedway, we're going to have the opening day for the Limited Sportsman Division, and we're going to see what he can do with our 23 machine, newly rebranded this year for Nate. I've kind of put my number 1 green scheme to the side here for a little bit, let Nate have his own identity, bringing his red back and bringing the old 23 back to the SRE stable, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. He's a good young talent, and he's showing that right here at the Guardrail Memorial.
That 4 car is going to start from the 2nd row here as Aaron Clemens and Zach Jerserik are going to get ready to fire down into turn 1. Clemens with the early jump, a little damage to the 54 machine. He's going to fall down to the bottom in front of Johnny Peters as Peters and Barth battle side by side for the 3rd position.
I'm not sure if Kuhn and Beattie are just kind of saving their equipment at the moment. We got one around over in turn number 3 and 4.
Yeah, Nate Barth was a little bit of a victim of circumstances there. I was just going to say how he's a guy that's going to take care of your equipment, not going to tear stuff up, and I think he's going to need a fast repair because there's a whole bunch of junk on the backstretch, including Kasey Beattie.
Oh, this is ARCA brakes to the max here tonight. A lot of drivers piling into that one. You get a lap into a restart, the adrenaline's pumping, you got the foot to the floor, hoping you can make some moves. It might have done some guys some good there to maybe ease off a little bit and let everybody settle into line. But once again, back under caution. A little bit disappointing here tonight. Some early cautions, part of the Guardrail Memorial 100.
Yeah, a little embarrassing here on the stream. We've got Kyle D'Souza and Ryan Van Ness tuning in. This isn't the late model type of action that they're used to being a part of. Anyway, you can see here, Nate Barth is up the racetrack on this replay. Looks like is that the 91 machine of, I keep calling him Stellar. That was not a stellar performance.
It looks like.
Evolar, yes. I believe that's him. Yeah, Kuhn, slick move to avoid that, but Kasey Beattie right behind him, unable to do so. Looks like Adam Jocelyn's involved in that one, as well as the 56 machine. And then as you get towards the back of the field, just more mayhem ensues.
Yeah, we'll have another look here on the replay provided by Fenceline Films. Tom, the modified guy, is, as you said, Charlie, pressing the ones and the twos here tonight, giving us some great replay shots from the top of turn 3 and 4.
I think we're back to green flag racing now. Aaron Plemons is going to take the jump. Jursic is fall back into that second position. Johnny Peters and Tyler Jordan are battling hard for that third spot. And don't look now, Ryan Kuhn up to the 5th position in the number 72.
And not wasting time all over the bumper of John Peters. He's got Jordan there as well. To his outside, Kuhn in the 72. Now that he is dispatched of Kasey Beattie, he has got nothing to worry about as he works his way to the front of the field. And once he's up there, Jordan going to go a little sideways. Everybody able to hold on to it. We'll see if there's any retaliation maybe from that move. Doesn't look like it. But right now, Plemons in the 67 is the top dog here tonight.
And after that damage, I had kind of written Kasey Beattie off. All of a sudden, here he comes back to the front. The 56 car, Ryman Castle, is up in the fence and around. Don't see a caution flag yet on the Speedway, but don't count out Kasey Beattie in that 45 car. He's still running 6th.
Race director maybe having a look at that one and saying, you know what, we're just going to let that one go. It is what it is here tonight. Still a couple of cars maybe spinning, maybe trying to get back on the racetrack, but we're seeing something good at the moment. Drivers spacing themselves out. The top 5 have broken away from the rest of the field. They've got some distance between themselves and the back half of the top 10. Top 10s from the top 15, you know, and so on and so forth. Now we may see some green flag running as Ryan Kuhn all over Johnny Peters in the 09.
Yeah, Kuhn's definitely quicker. He's definitely the fastest car in the field. He was your pole sitter. Of course, we send him to the back because we like a battle. And he's going to move to the inside now of Johnny Peters as they go through the corner here. Way up in. He's got the position on the inside, just enough to force Johnny Peters to recognize he's there. He's going to drive back in here again. Slight advantage through the center of the corner, but can he get the throttle down? You've got Jackson Lewis right behind him in the 7, trying to fill that gap and make sure that damage, number 09 of Johnny Peters, cannot close him off.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, too, here, boys, is, Spencer and Jesse, is that the format of this race does include 2 quick repairs as well, too. So if we do get a timely caution at some point that Johnny Peters feels as though that he can dip it down pit road, he can totally fix that car and basically run off pit road with a brand new 09 machine and see if he can get back into the mix here with the Ryan Kuhn.
And here's somebody we haven't talked about tonight, Ryan Borges. If we can go back there, the 24 car, Borges having a solid run in car number 24. I'll double check 15th it looks like at the moment, but we like having Borges around here in BFB Night North America.
Gorgeous Ryan Borges had a top 5 streak going. That broke last week with a 6th place finish. We'll see if Borges can't start a new streak tonight of 5th place finishes, but he's got a ways to go as he's running back in that 15th position right now.
Stafford rather, get my Connecticut tracks mixed up. Stafford is such a hard place to pass, unless you've really got a car that can work to the inside or the top side. They call it the bottom shot. Stafford Motor Speedway has really become known for that bottom groove, and we see Ryan Kuhn making up some spots now on Jackson Lewis in the 7 car. So Ryan Kuhn up to the podium spot, but Clemens and Jursic have been putting on a whale of a battle here tonight. There's about 2 seconds separating those top 2.
Yeah, Kuhn's up to 2nd. Aaron Clemens is still the leader. Kuhn was able to take advantage of Jursic there, as well as Jackson Lewis. Tom wants us to say the cream is rising to the top. Ryan Kuhn is definitely the cream here of the
Some
We're getting Ben Dodge
Dodgisms coming out tonight.
Anyway, Aaron Plemons continues the lead. Ryan Kuhn has made his way up from shotgun on the field into that second position. Jackson Lewis hot on his tail. Another guy that I want to talk about is back in that 8th place position, Ryan Battle, the last car to transfer in the heat races, running in the 8th position. You know, Kasey Beattie also starting from the rear. You got 3 really big movers in this one. None quite as big as Ryan Kuhn, though.
One thing they bring up, too, speaking of Kasey Beattie there, he was obviously one of the top runners throughout all the races here we've had so far. He was running up in the mix there for a little bit, involved in that caution a little bit earlier. Good rebound there, getting back up into mixing it with the top 5 guys.
And still a lot of drivers in this field still running in this race. We've got about 25, 26 cars left running in this race. Some cars looking a little worse for wear, as we see with the 45 car. But, we haven't seen as much real put it on the trailer, go grab a beer attrition as we've seen in other races.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like these guys, even with these damage, are being able to hold on. With 25 cars on the lead lap, it makes it hard if you do have that damage and you're still running decent like a Johnny Peters or a Kasey Beattie to want to come down pit road, because are you going to be able to recoup all of those positions where you can see we can have a long green flag run every once in a while on the BFP iLate Model Racing Series.
So Plemons continues to lead. Car number 67 is your leader, closing in on the halfway point. Could Plemons become a new first-time winner here this season? We've had 3 winners so far with Devin Landry, Ryan Kuhn, and Kasey Beattie. Plemons wants to prove that he is no slouch behind the wheel of the black 67, and he's going to have to outduel one of the best, Ryan Kuhn, maybe using a little bit of shifting tactics here tonight.
I thought that was only something you saw in the Cup Series, not in a late model stock at Stafford. But I'm never going to second guess what Ryan Kuhn's doing, because he's really good at this iRacing deal.
Ryan Kuhn, in real life racing, I believe he pretty well rode off a race car here. The past North Super Late models ran here a season ago. I believe he had some pretty significant contact with the guardrail that we are honoring tonight. So Kuhn trying to have some better luck here tonight, as they'll be looking ahead to victory lane in car number 72, but he's going to have to outduel Plemons in the 67.
Yeah, he's got a second and a half that he's got to make up underneath Plemons. I kind of expected Kuhn to just drive away from Jackson Lewis, and that hasn't really happened yet. They got a little bit of lap traffic with the 15 up ahead of them. As we've got a caution on the Speedway, and that is going to that's really going to change things up here in this one. As you see, Drew Rusick going around there, or no, sorry, the
it
6
looks like
is
Jordan, maybe.
Jordan. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's one of those things in sim racing. When you get turned sideways, you want to hold the brake, but you also want to get out of the way. Jordan not really deciding what he's doing there. Borges with a gorgeous move there to avoid that contact. The 24 going to pick up another couple of spots, almost tagged the guardrail. But we are past the halfway point of this one. 49 laps to go as the crow flies here at Stafford Springs.
Yeah, and that incident there was pretty unfortunate. I know a bunch of guys are going to hit pit road here, including Ryan Borges. I know that Ethan Avalar is going to hit pit road as well. Of course, he was involved in that contact with the 6 machine there, Jordan.
Plemons will maintain the top spot off pit road. Ryan Kuhn, the 09 of John Peters. third coming out of pit road. We'll see how they shake out when they come back to the green. I see Reagan Parent is tuning in tonight. Reagan made a couple of starts with us the last couple of nights. Old Reggie not deciding that he's fast enough to make the show here tonight. So, Reggie, you're going to have to work on it. Maybe get Ray in the seat.
Looks like where we had mostly takers there on pit road, Ryan LaChance in the number 17 machine is going to stay out on the racetrack, and a little bit of tire strategy here may play into effect. Aaron Clemens and Ryan Kuhn are going to line up to the outside and behind him. We'll see how long those tires can hang on, or if maybe this is a play for a little later in a race. As we know, there can be some carnage and maybe some fresh tires at the end. We'll give Ryan that last chance for victory.
Spencer, would you say the cream, as it were, the proverbial cream, has risen to the top, as it were?
Yeah,
one could say that.
Tom, these races would be so much worse if you weren't involved. I hope you know that. Yeah, he's telling me they can't hear him, but we can, and makes it so much better.
The young and talented Ryan Kuhn and the young and talented Aaron Clemens have risen their way to the top here. As you know, the Kuhn always rises to the top.
In cream-like fashion, if you will.
In cream-like fashion, if you will. Ryan LaChance is going to lead the field to green here with Aaron Clemens to his outside. LaChance, with his only chance for a victory, stays out on old tires. How long can he hang? To the inside of Clemens, way up the racetrack. That opens the door for Ryan Kuhn. 3 wide as they exit turn 2.
Who is going to hold on to this one? If Regan Smith can win the Southern 500 on old tires, can Ryan LaChance do it? And not looking at it tonight, Aaron Clemens deciding he is not to be screwed around with. He is going to the front of the field once again. Here comes the 45 car.
Kasey Beattie has made his way into the conversation. Now, he's to the inside of Aaron Clemens. We've had a 1-2 RKM setup shop finish here the past couple of weeks. Are we going to see it again? Ryan Kuhn's your leader, and Kasey Beattie is now taking that second spot all the way from the rear on the field. We're going to have to start them a lap down next week to keep them out of the conversation.
Very much like cream rising to the top, if you will, in cream-like fashion in their creamy nature. The top two here, Ryan Kuhn, Kasey Beattie, just absolutely dick stomping these guys here week after week, it seems. We try to put them to the tail. I don't know what we got to do, but these two are just elite.
I really don't know what we're going to have to do. Back in the day at Auction Plains Speedway and one of the 4-cylinder divisions, they used to start the 1 and 2 point man pull an outside pole of the field, but behind everybody, like they were going to go a lap down. And it created some exciting racing if we could ever get a green flag run, but we don't have a ton of those here. Looks like we've
to my fellow broadcasters, I've got a little bit of news. All of a sudden, the caution has come out here at Stafford Speedway.
Cuzzo there in the 15 just yard sailing it through the infield there. That was a good one.
I believe he is on the Bobby Timmons pre-race program, getting very drunk.
Keys to the race, turning left, drunk as we all get out, whatever.
Jesse, the problem is that he turned left a little too early and he forgot to take his foot off the loud pedal. Other than that, it was perfect.
The other problem with the keys to the race presented by Timmons Machine is that there are no other keys to the race, so that's all you got. That's what it is. We're gonna check out Ryan Borges here. A little bit of net code there. He saves it. He holds on to it. The 24 car gonna live to see another day.
Yeah, I believe the keys to the race might more be like the Keystone Lights of the race. A little bit of beer is being consumed here. I'm not sure that some of these guys would pass a breathalyzer right now. But a couple of guys that are putting in a performance are Ryan Kuhn and Kasey Beattie from the back of the field. They are going to have those top 2 positions in a couple of laps here when we get back to green flag racing.
Now, boys, I got a question for both of you here. I was in the car early on, but obviously this is a race in remembrance of the guardrail. Did we do the moment of silence?
We absolutely had the moment of silence. We bowed our heads. We prayed to short track Jesus for the guardrail, and we made it happen. So don't worry.
Bubba Pollard was there?
No, nobody. And never mind. Yeah.
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh. Guardrail memorial, but this is off the fucking rails, apparently.
Things that Charlie told me to do when we came on the BFP Sports 1 team. He's like, you cannot swear on air. We need to not do that. This is a professional podcast, a professional program.
You could curse. You just can't say like 3 of the words, and one of the ones that would get you blacklisted from the internet. So you can say anything else.
Just don't get canceled. That's all I ask. Don't get you or any of us canceled. That's really the only thing I ask.
Anyway, we're enjoying the show. Fans tuned in here tonight. Are you enjoying the show? If not, then don't bother coming back. I don't know. So, pace cars pulling in. It's Ryan Kuhn, Kasey Beattie, as it's been for the last 12 years of BFP racing years. So. Green flag back in the area. You've probably seen that one before, but have you seen Aaron Plemons to the inside? No, you haven't. Plemons going to put up a good fight in the 67 car to the inside.
Yeah, this. Wow, Plemons into the fence. Big accident for your second place runner. Oh no. Yellow was in the air. Wow.
That was violently illegal. I don't agree with that one. That's all I'll say. Yeah, that was
Bubba Wallace thinks that move was aggressive. Ryan Preet thinks that move was uncalled for.
Hell, I even think that was aggressive.
The cream has drizzled to the bottom, as it were.
Oh man.
The cream has softened up thanks to the guardrail. So.
These yellows are making me soft. What'd you say?
This has gotten so aggressive. I've had to go and grab another beer. This is.
Oh my God.
This is BFP unhinged at this point. We've only got 30 laps left, boys. I think Kasey Beattie there just kind of tried to do maybe an over/under east to west deal there, and just absolutely committed a Spencer Morse fallopian crime there up off of turn 2 there, and just put Plemons in the hospital. It looks like.
Last week I used the term he kersmuckled him. He really did, and. That is unfortunate for the 67.
I was part of the kersmuckling, if you will, and I was wondering where that word had come from.
The Alexander Keith Foundation for Alcohol and Talking. So don't worry about it. Oh goodness. Speedway 660 fans, don't worry. I'm going to use that phrase this season.
Wow. Anyway, Zach Drusik and Ryan Kuhn are going to lead him back to green. Kasey Beattie going to be in that 3rd position. Let's hope he doesn't try to murder anybody else. Kuhn is going to drive down into turn 1. Beattie's going to take the 2nd spot, and we've got a full-on battle for 3rd place. A lot of action throughout the field there, really, from 3rd on back.
Couple of cars getting a little sideways in before. Okay. All right. Well, that's That's probably about 6 black flags for whoever was involved in that one. So, well, apparently we don't give black flags here because we left them at home. So that's unfortunate.
I don't know. Is it the 49 car there that throttles up after this is all over and rolls a guy over? That's pretty good. I wish that I could have that type of revenge. I think you see the 49 car in the wall there. And yeah, that's the good stuff right there. That guy's going to need a tow back to pit road. Kind of Justin Larson style from Thunder Road in 2020, like you brought that up.
Imagine putting, I believe that was Scott Dinnan who ended up on his roof. Imagine putting the race director on its roof.
I've actually wanted to do that multiple times, Jesse. That's like a dream come true for me.
That's why you're not allowed at White Mountain anymore, or is that?
No, I'm back in good graces. I'm back in good graces.
All right. Whatever you got to do.
I thought it was Thunder Road.
So Thunder Road's where I wrecked Justin Larson. Last year we had a little bit of what was it, a kerfuffle, or I don't know.
Kersmuckling.
Kersmuckle. I had a little bit of kersmuckle in the pit area. Fortunately, I believe I've finished out my probation and no longer on bail conditions and can go back to North Woodstock, New Hampshire. Excited to race there twice with the Pro All-Star Series this year. Yeah, I hope.
I think you'll find out on race number 1 or 2, whatever it is. Oh, boys. Drivers, we've got 25 laps to go. Well, let's call it as it is. It's been junkyard chaos here tonight at Stafford Springs. The top 2 have really made it a good fight, except for some left turning when there shouldn't have been that ended up with Clemens in the wall. But, you get that on medium time auto racing.
Somebody that a couple people I got to shout out running inside the top 5 right now. Back in 4th place, I mentioned it earlier. He guaranteed a top 3 finish tonight. Adam Jocelyn in the number 38 machine running 4th. Ryan Battle, another one of those guys that had to start at the rear like Ryan Kuhn and Kasey Beattie, your top 2. He rolled off from the 26th position, and he's running 5th. So big shout out to those guys making their way to the front of the field. I think without a little bit of mayhem, it's going to be hard for them to go around the number 45 of Beattie and the 72 of Kuhn, though.
Adam Jocelyn, a driver who practiced for this race tonight by not running a late model, running trophy trucks in last on his roof, and is now up to 4th. So the setup book is out the window, in the windmill, on fire. Anything can happen. Green flag back in the air for the Guardrail Memorial 100. The last quarter of this one. Drivers bouncing off the fence once again. Are they able to keep it straight? Can we keep green flag racing? It looks like we're probably not going to. I saw a guy end up on his roof.
So far, I don't see a caution flag. I believe we're all...
Yeah, call me wrong.
Okay.
We're going to send that one going.
On that. Adam Jocelyn had the worst restart of his life in that 4th position. He's already back to the 6th spot. And he's feeling a little bit of pressure from Ethan Avalar and the 24 of Ryan Borges. They're trying to take those spots away. Kuhn and Beattie still lead as, Jocelyn's starting to fall through the field a little bit here.
Boys, we're coming up on 20 to go here. A good chunk of this race already in the books here. 80% of it, if you will, is Ryan Kuhn, Kasey Beattie here, starting to walk away with this one yet again here in the BFP iLate Metal Stock Car Tour. And the cream has risen to the top, if you will. So the 72-45 machines are certainly at the top of the field here right now as they're continuing to walk away with this one.
Some of the cream has risen to the top. Some of it, as we've said, has drizzled back down to the bottom. Some of it is staying right in the middle. Oh, we got cars around one more time. What a save for the 91 car. Get that one on SportsCenter's top 10. What a save for the 91.
Looks like we've got another caution on the Speedway now. I'm not sure if it's because they thought there was no way that the number 91 Ethan Avalar was going to be able to save that or what, but there is a caution on the Speedway that's going to re-rack him. Ryan Kuhn had opened up almost a second advantage over Kasey Beattie, but this is going to rack him back up side by side with less than 20 laps to go.
You know, Bobby Timmons would call that a save, right? You know, that's a Bobby Timmons save right there. And if he's going to come argue about it, then don't worry about it, you know? Oh, we have fun here in the booth. BFP Night in North America, presented this week by Star Speedway, the fine folks at the Star Speedway, the place to race in Epping, New Hampshire. They've got their season opener, the Bunny Brawl, on April 22nd. They've got 8 divisions of racing, I believe. It's going to be a packed show. If you're ready to head to the racetrack one more time, think about heading to New Hampshire, to the Star Speedway, pack the stands, pack the bar, and make the place rock for their opening day.
It's going to be Epping awesome. I can tell you that. I can assure it. Every time that I go to Star Speedway, it is. So Epping awesome time at the place to race, Star Speedway.
So, looks like we're ready to send these drivers off one more time. Lights out on the pace car. It's Kuhn and Beattie one more time. I believe there's about 17 or so laps to go. 17 or 16. We'll find out when we get back to the stripe, but it is not a long time. A Saturday night heat race shootout for the big show here tonight. Green flag in the air. Kuhn on the hammer.
Kuhn is setting sail as they're wrecking behind him. Big incident. I think Johnny Peters is involved. He's in the fence. A whole bunch of mayhem. About, I don't know, 6th, 7th on back. Looks like the driver of the 23 Limited Sportsman, Nate Barth, in the 04. He was battling his way back forward, and then he was around backwards.
Checking the replay courtesy of Fence Line Films as they make their way out of turn number 4. Barth in the 04, Peters in the 09. And wherever that is behind the 68, I believe, gets into the back of Barth. That turns John Peters around. He gives a wave to the fans. The 7 of Lewis goes through the grass. And the 66, it looks like. Okay. So I believe that's Ryman Castle. And just clobbered by the 67.
Yeah, Stephen Rochford maybe in the 66. Would that be correct?
Rochford, it looks like. Yeah. My mistake. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh my God, that I think that one gave me a concussion just watching it. That was a big impact. I might have to take next week off after that.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's gotten very intense here in the closing laps. We were talking about how there was 25 cars on the lead lap. We're all the way down to 19.
Oh, look at the chat we can see on the screen now. Oh, Bobby is probably saying something he'll regret. Well,
anyway,
maybe.
Somebody that I think we need to keep an eye on a little bit. I know there's not a lot of laps left in this one, but the 67 of Aaron Plemons, after getting absolutely right-reared into the fence, already climbed his way back up to the 12th spot. So keep an eye on that 67 as he tries to work his way back to the front of the field. We know that the cream always has a tendency to rise to the top, and Aaron Plemons could very well do that after that big incident.
This field has absolutely dwindled. And we are back to green. Just over 10 laps left to go. Everybody able to make it through turn 1? Nope. The 30 car is around. Borges with absolutely another move of the race. Up to the 3rd spot. Could Ryan Borges win this race? We are going to stay green.
I believe that is the Grandview Live sweet move of the race there by Ryan Borges. just still going. Another guy to keep an eye on is Jackson Lewis in that number 7 car. He's hot on Borges's tail, and can Borges hold off that 7 for much longer? The 7 was very quick earlier and seems to be continuing that way. Aaron Plemons, speaking of moving to the front, he's already to the 6th position.
Yeah, you talk about Lewis. I don't think that's who Borges needs to worry about. I think it's Plemons in that 67 car. He is driving like a house on fire here tonight, trying to work his way up to the podium. Car number 67 wants some hardware tonight, but he's going to have to wrestle it away from Borges and Lewis.
Yeah, and just watching that battle, to be able to get to that exclusive, Discord chat with us in that top 3, that means a lot. Ryan Borges has had a streak of some top 10 finishes. He wants to keep that going. And Jackson Lewis would like to have his first top 3 in the BFP iLate Model Stock Tour.
Just under 5 laps left to go. The Guardrail Memorial, Ryan Kuhn, Kasey Beattie. We saw that 1 week ago. We saw it the week before that, so on and so forth. But the battle continues to be Lewis and Borges. Are they going to lean on each other? Borges has saved the car 6 to 9 times tonight. I've lost count. Nice. And the 24 is all over that podium spot. But he has got to keep an eye on the mirror, keep an eye on the windshield, and just keep an eye on everything here tonight.
And Lewis is he's actually into the back bumper of Ryan Borges. That's how close they are. And the guy praying for a caution right now is Aaron Plemons in that 67, running there in the 5th position. And guess what he got? All of a sudden, caution flag, it falls on Stafford Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we were going to see the sticks in the air, but the 91, I believe it's the 91, maybe the 22. Avalar and Battle duking it out. Battle on the outside of Avalar. They head down into turn 1. And it looks like they were able to keep going on that lap. We'll see how they do the next time around. Battle drops to the inside. Trading some paint, leaning on each other. And Battle might have cleared himself with contact over the top of the 91. And that's going to put a sour end to the night for the 22 car.
That was definitely more contact than clear on that one, for sure.
Yeah.
They were door slamming each other going down the front stretch, and unfortunate situation for the two of them. But the fortunate one in all of this is Aaron Plemons in the 67. He's going to get a chance to run his way back to the podium, and if he can get around Borges and Jackson Lewis, will he have anything for Kasey Beattie? Of course, those two made contact and kind of took away Plemons' chance for a win here tonight. We might see a little retaliation here in the closing laps.
I don't think retaliation's really worth it this late in the game. I'm not a race car driver. I don't know. But I think if you've made all that effort to work your way back up to 5th, you try and salvage what you can. Green flag back in the air. It's a green-white checkered here to settle the Guardrail Memorial 100. Ryan Kuhn continues to lead. Kasey Beattie in behind down the backstretch. And Ryan Borges there in the 24. Oh, the 67 up over 2 or 3 cars. Will continue on. Will drivers be able to race without a yellow? Looks like the yellow is back out here at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Yeah, unfortunate situation here. Looks like a car gets up into the wall. Plemons might have been up the racetrack a little bit. You've got the 91 of Ethan Avalar, who has been involved in a lot of incidents tonight. A couple of them might have been his fault, but that one sure wasn't. And just an unfortunate situation here coming in the closing laps. Nate Barth again in the 04. I hope you have a couple of quick repairs with that 23 Limited this year, Charlie, because he's been in a couple of these too.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's having better luck here in real life than he is here on the video game tonight, because that's gonna get real expensive real quick if we do that in the real stuff there. But no, Nate's getting tied up in a lot of other people's messes. It looks like he's charged from the back a couple times, and all of a sudden he's underneath another race car here. But it looks as though we're gonna give a green white checkered here one more shot as the boys re-rack him.
Borges laying a little bit of pressure on Ryan Kuhn, gives him a shot. He may have regretted that decision. Green flag back in the air. It's a green-white checker one more time. Ryan Borges to the second spot. Borges working his way to the front of the field. Lewis going to slide. Borges, will he be able to hold on to it? Burt cracks it. Ryan Borges with another save. Here comes Nate Barth and John Peters to the inside. Borges' luck will run out, and he'll find himself in the wall.
Back to later.
Oh, not a gorgeous night for Ryan Borges, but Ryan Kuhn looking good. The 72 of Ryan Kuhn's going to power his way off of turn 4. Checkered flag is in the air. Ryan Kuhn, your all-time win leader, adds another one. Kasey Beattie going to come home second. Zach, I can't pronounce your last name. Going to meet us in the Discord chat. Stephen Rochford comes home 4th, and Johnny Peters, after an exciting event, is going to come home 5th.
Oh, goodness, I can't wait to talk to our top 3 here tonight on the front stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it once again. The Massachusetts veteran here tonight, Ryan Kuhn, going to win the Guardrail Memorial 100.
A little revenge on that guardrail, like you said, from the last time that he was here in a Pro All-Star Series competition. Ryan Kuhn and Kasey Beattie, I think we're going to do their classic burnout together, and then somebody drove in, made a mess. But
right into victory lane. We love to see it. We love a winner here at BFB Night in North America. Well, Spencer, well, Charlie, that was chaos. Say it as it is.
That was certainly that. Hopefully, moving forward, we're gonna be a little bit, maybe have some more eyes in the sky, have not as many yellows thrown here, but Ryan Kuhn, Kasey Beattie, yet again, riding it out, and cream rose to the top, if you will, and we're going to have them filter into the victory lane here. And Jesse, Spencer, take it away.
We've got the winner here tonight, Ryan Kuhn. Ryan, we talked about 1 year ago at the real life Stafford Motor Speedway. You guys had terrible luck with that race car. Tonight, you were able to come from shotgun on the grid pretty well to park it in victory lane. How does it feel?
Yeah, this place definitely owes me one in real life. We had like you guys said, last year we had a killer car here in real life, and right front went down with 2 to go, running second, trying to hunt down the leader, and one of those deals. But glad to get it done on the virtual world and park it in victory lane.
And I guess the big question is for you and Kasey Beattie, how do you guys do it? How do you guys manage to race side by side so much, bumper to bumper, door to door, whatever it is, not use each other up, and able to make it such an exciting show week in and week out?
Well, Kasey's learning from the master right now, following his boss man. So he's doing good. He's getting a lot better. He's really figuring out these cars. He's just got to figure out the long run speed. He's got the hot lap speed down. He's just got to work on his long run pace and really learn how to manage his tires. But he did a really good job tonight. Really good job last couple weeks, and we'll work on it moving forward, and we'll get even better.
Ryan, are you any good at Oxford on iRacing, or are you racing Oxford this Sunday? 2 questions for you there.
Yes, I'm very good at the virtual Oxford. It's probably my favorite track other than Loudon on the sim. And unfortunately, no, we will not be at Oxford this weekend. Just some financial problems. But we'll be back on track soon. Hopefully in the next few weeks or so. Still uncertain of what the rest of the season is looking like, but I guess the good news is for the boys back at home, we could be at Seekonk a lot more this year.
Ryan Kuhn, so not that my financial challenge will help you a whole lot, towards getting back to the racetrack and as much as you want to. But if I gave you $100 if you win next week, starting one lap down, would you take it?
$100 to start one lap down at Oxford.
You got it.
You have 150 laps to do it.
Do I have a week to think about it?
I was hoping to break some news tonight, but if you need a day or two, I'll give it to you. I gotta cash in some cans and bottles though, so you gotta let me know sooner than later.
Well, I'll really think about that. I'll have to do some thinking. It's a possibility though.
You've got RKM Speed Shop on the car. Who do you want to thank here tonight for such a chaotic way to park yourself in victory lane?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my guys back at RKM Setup Shop. We're all learning as a group, getting better at these cars week in, week out. Everett's Auto Parts for the real life opportunities. I'm excited to have them back this year. We're going to hopefully go win some more races later on this season once we get all our cars finished and ready to go. Bernier's Liquors for sticking with me the last, 10 years ish. Modern Auto Body, Coastal Heritage Bank, 01 Designs, you guys up in the booth, Charlie and the boys for putting this show on. It's I think it's gaining a lot of viewership, and I think a lot of people are looking into it, and it's turned into a really good show.
Well, that's Ryan Kuhn, ladies and gentlemen, your winner of the first annual Guardrail Memorial 100 here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. We've got the runner-up finisher who made him work for it here tonight, Kasey Beattie. Kasey couldn't make it 2 in a row in victory lane, but Kasey, you put on a good show in car number 45.
Yeah, no, definitely happy with a second. First thing I want to say is sorry to Aaron Plemons for right hooking him there. Just trying to get clear low and just wasn't quite clear enough on him. But no, we had a real hot rod tonight, following Kuhn up through the field. I knew if I stayed glued to his bumper, we'd end up at the front eventually. So it definitely played out how I wanted it to, and definitely happy with the second.
I believe Spencer's got something he wants to add here to the mix. He's got his Weapon of the Year trophy. That is a beautiful trophy. Spencer, what have you got here tonight?
Well, I just wanted to give Kasey Beattie the honorary Weapon of the Week trophy for the right hook here on the BFP iLate model stock series. Definitely, you had an interesting day. You got caught up in a GOM earlier. Of course, you had that incident as well with Aaron Plemons. You had a heck of a run, but I think the thing everybody's going to remember is the little bit of contact there with Plemons.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely happy it was on the iSim though, instead of real life.
No, for sure. I just anytime that anybody does something egregious, I gotta show off my trophy here from Weapon of the Year. I think we've all been there. I don't know. Charlie, can we put him in the running for Weapon of the Year? I can't be the only winner of this award.
It was pretty bad, but that's all right. It's a little bit easier when you can hit reset and give somebody a new car there. But no, I think that you and Ryan Kuhn both do a hell of a job there, especially with that RKM setup shop. And whether we start you at the tail or not, it doesn't seem to matter. You two are always rising to the top in a cream-like fashion, if you will. And making it happen. So thank you for putting on a show. We appreciate the two of you, and looks as though we got another competitor in here. Ryan Borges had a bit of a tough day here. He seems to be in the chat here. So let's have a look at the old 24 machine of gorgeous Ryan Borges. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Oh, not too bad. What do you have to say for all the folks who got to watch the show that you just put on? And how many cars did you hit out there today, bud?
I mean, it was called the Guardrail 100, right? Is that what it's called? The
Guardrail Memorial. Have some respect.
Well, that was close. So, I mean, I hit it on the last lap, so just wanted to pay tribute to it. It was a fun race. Probably wasn't the quickest car out there. It's probably about the 5th quickest behind all those RKM guys, but started up front. Got in a wreck on the first lap, first turn, and just kind of, hung in there, came from the back to the front. And obviously all these races get wild, so it just got a little hectic at the end. I was hoping I could actually finally be a podium pal in one of these, but didn't happen. So I just I wanted to join the celebration there at the end and just kind of I think the throttle hung when I hit all of them. But no, it was a good time. It's fun doing all these and just got to get a little bit better to contend with the likes of Ryan, Kasey. I don't know who else says. I think they've won about every one of these. So
I think the key to success here in the iLate model stock car tour is maybe just not having sex, and maybe that's what you got to do. But no, I appreciate all of you that coming out to support this. It's been a hell of a time to watch you guys, Spencer, Jesse, Tom. It's been one heck of a production. Ryan, Kuhn, you're an absolute wheelman, both on and off the track, apparently here on the computer and in real life. Kasey, Beattie, you're a force to be reckoned with too. Jizz, we love you. Bobby, I don't know if you're on or if you're just listening or what you're doing, but what was your take on today, bud?
Well, I hate it. We had to take a week off. Loudon went so poorly for us that my guys back at the shop, they got this 2010 Dell. We had just perfect B main caliber speed. We were about 8/10 off the pace all day. Knew we had a fighting chance in the B main with the rest of the non-virgins in the B main. All the virgins take in the qualified spots through the heat races. So we tried. We came up just a couple spots short, but really, really vast improvement. I hate to say, I'm going to miss next week's race because I'm going to go hang out with my friends that are also not virgins. But we'll try again in 2 weeks, I think. We'll try to get this 2010 Dell computer maybe a little bit faster. I don't know. I fucking suck at this game. I have too much sex to be good at this.
Well, there you have it, kids.
You
there you have it, kids. It's not a video game. It's a lifestyle, as many of you will be told. But no, it's been a heck of a time. Thank you to each and every single one of you who have shown up. Everybody out on Facebook watching. We've been getting a couple thousand views on this for some reason every week, which makes no sense. Spencer, Jesse, Tom, the modified guy. It has been a pleasure yet again. We look forward to the second race of the Triple Crown Series next week at the Oxford Plains Speedway for the Parking Lot Party 150, where we will have points on the line here, heading towards the Triple Crown Championship. But in the meantime, Spencer, take us home.
This has been the Guardrail Memorial 100 at Stafford Motor Speedway. Thank you for tuning in here at BF Sports 1. Appreciate you letting me bring you the action tonight, and I am excited to see you at Oxford Plains Speedway, not only this weekend for our opener, Saturday and Sunday, but also on Tuesday. So, on behalf of the whole gang here at BFP Sports 1, we'll see you next Tuesday.